Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I am Zenny Dragon, and I bid you all welcome to my channel, and I hope that you enjoy today's stream. Today, we're going to be continuing with Fire Emblem Three Houses. We're going to be doing, continuing on the Crimson Flower as well as the Silver Snow route. But before we begin, I do need to take care of a shout out that happened earlier today. PK Nickton, thank you very much for the follow. And so, let's begin. Last time we basically started off the story. We got introduced to the characters, the major characters that we're going to be focusing on. I gave my thoughts on a lot of those major characters, and we picked our route. Going with the Black Eagles, as I explained earlier. And now we're going to be starting off with the base gameplay for the majority of of each of the paths. Alrighty. So this is my room. I thought I heard a girl's voice, but I must have been imagining things. But yeah, this is basically where a lot of the sort of the cycle of gameplay is going to start. Yes, I will definitely grab those items. I'll use them a little bit later, but this particular section is known as the hub world. Is basically we're going to do a lot of sort of like interactions with all the characters, not only in your party, but also that could potentially join your party as well.
Your room is here at the end. Commoner students also reside on the first floor, while the second is primarily for students of noble birth. As a rule, we try to avoid discrimination.
Hello, Mystic! How are you doing today?
But the nobility can be quite insistent when it comes to matters of propriety. Speaking of, it would be best for you to avoid improper conduct. I expect you to set a good example for the students.
Okay. I'm not too keen on the professor of my class. I really hope to focus more on strategy. Maybe I should talk to my professor about transferring to a different class.
Talking about having the potential of recruiting other students from the different houses. As hopefully, yes, I am doing all right. Thank you very much.
When we take the field, it would be best not to engage the both of them at once.
Some believe the dignity of the Empire rests on the results of the mock battle. That's an overstatement, of course. Still, we must do our best to prevail. You should take the time to learn each student's abilities. Perhaps some extra lessons and training sessions are in order? You look as if you have no idea what's going on here. I know my way around, so I'm happy to help you find your footing.
Alright.
The monastery has some exceptional facilities that everyone who lives at the Officers' Academy is
hooray for tutorials.
For example, you can enjoy a meal with your students at the dining hall, or take part in some one-on-one sparring at the training grounds. I suggest visiting the various facilities whenever you have the time to spare. It's a great way to get to know the students, faculty, and various workers here. Have you noticed the bulletin boards placed around the monastery? Those contain requests people have posted, as well as helpful information from the market. If you prove yourself by helping people with their requests, certain facilities here will become available for your use. The bulletin board is updated frequently, so I suggest checking it at least once a month. You should take your time when speaking with everyone, but when it comes to using the facilities, well, you need to be more careful about that. If you use them without planning ahead, your free time will be gone before you know it.
Alright.
A great deal is expected from professors of the Officers' Academy, so it's important to hone your skills. To put it plainly, you'll need to keep expanding your knowledge of all disciplines, not just battle.
Alrighty. So basically, what it's talking about is essentially the time that you spend here in the hub world is basically contributes to developing your students as well as yourself, and the more time and dedication you put into this particular section, the more you're going to be able to do in the long run.
You really think so? With enough training, I'm sure I'll beat you someday.
I care nothing of friendship. If you have no business here, leave.
Okay. Alright.
Okay.
Yes. I heard about the upcoming... Goodness, listen to me. The thrill of competition has carried me away. I won't speak so formally of a class assignment in the future.
As
Let me know when you are hungry.
alright.
I will make you a quality meal, as thanks for your service to His Highness. I have a request.
Sure. It's gonna teach us about one of the activities that we can be able to do in the hub sections. More on that in a little bit.
Hello.
Oh. Hey, Teach. I hear there's gonna be a mock battle between the houses. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit concerned about facing an elite mercenary like you. Maybe take it easy on us. What do you say?
No.
Oh, Professor. Have you adjusted to life at the academy yet? Me, I'm still not used to it. I'm not one for all this studying and training. Oh.
Ooh. Items. It leaves smithing stone. Okay. Nice pulmonary. That is always good. Ooh, king crystal. Saints. Lots of teas. The Amiibo gazebo. So essentially, if you have Amiibo, particularly Fire Emblem branded Amiibo, you can be able to scan it to your system, and it will actually provide you with some items on the ground. Like I just picked up items here, so I've already have all my Amiibos registered onto this device, so no need to go through on that.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. By the by, have you ever regretted a decision and wished you could go back and undo it? It's too bad there's no lesson for how to turn back the old clock, huh? But I suppose a bad decision isn't worth all that fuss anyhow.
How very apropos that you ask a question like that. Got some bait. Got some more seeds.
Our house is that of the Golden Deer. Do you know the significance of that name, Professor?
No.
Golden deer are sacred creatures, said to have protected Leicester since time immemorial. All three of the houses have a meaning behind their name. You should feel free to ask around if that sort of knowledge interests you.
Sure, because I certainly won't be asking you any further.
This is the Golden Deer house. You're in charge of a different house, right? Too bad we won't see more of each other. I'm happy to learn from you if the opportunity comes up.
I'm certainly going to try to recruit as much as I possibly can.
Hi, Professor. How are you doing? If you're not busy, would you like to join me on a little trip into town? If I'm cooped up in this dusty old monastery for too long, it drives me absolutely crazy.
But as I'm using sort of a brand new file, now this is not going to be a new game plus, so I'm not sure how many of the students I'm actually going to be able to recruit during this playthrough, so we'll have to see.
That's where I met Annie. That's what I call Annette. Oh, I guess Lawrence was at the School of Magic too. But Annie was always just so nice to me, even though I was older. She's my best friend in the world.
The Blue Lion House derived its name from the honorary title of the first king of Fargus. Lug, the king of lions, wore brilliantly blue garments. His chivalric exploits are recorded in multiple legends. The library holds various historical accounts regarding him and the Blue Lions. If you find time, you should read them. They're filled with insights.
Yeah, learn a little bit about sort of the history of Blue Lion. And what information do you have for me, Ferdy?
Let me tell you the provenance of our class name. The eagle,
That refers to the twin-headed eagle on the Adrestian Empire's coat of arms. And black is the traditional color of the Empire's armor, hence black eagles.
Even though all their iconography uses red majority of the time. Huh. I guess it ends up working in the end.
Hello.
Alright. Let's move on to where some of the activities are.
That's so.
Hi.
Showing us the facilities, basically where each of the students will be living.
I'm Captain Gerald's first and best apprentice. I can beat anyone, Professor. Even you if I have to. It may have been only for a short time, but I learned from the absolute best.
Hope that doesn't become a recurring theme with her.
Well, there's Dorothy, Hilda, and Mercedes. Lady Rhea's quite the beauty, too. And I must admit, I've even checked out Professor Manuela once or twice. You know, Professor, I think I'm going to like it at the Officers' Academy. There are beautiful girls as far as the eye can see.
Oh wow,
Professor,
one-track mind.
I've got a small favor to ask.
Alright, yep, I will certainly accept that. And I believe I did see Bernadetta here. There we go.
I don't like to come out unless I really have to. Hope you're okay with that, Professor.
Alright.
The Great Tree Moon is the best time of the year for naps. I could just forget all about my assignment.
No, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna work you to the bone, Linhart.
Did you come to look at the plants too? The greenhouse here is really incredible. There are so many rare flowers I'd never seen back home, and herbs I never even knew existed. My adoptive father is the real expert. He taught me everything I know about herbs, including how to tell them apart and how to make medicines. You should try looking around the greenhouse sometime if the mood strikes you. Maybe something will catch your eye.
Alright. Let's pick up this item. Some more seeds. And let's go ahead and take care of that activity that Dedu was wanting to introduce us. So gardening. So essentially gardening is basically you're taking the seeds that you collect and you're planting them over a week's time, and that will be able to supply you with even more seeds, as well as in rare cases some items, including stat boosting items. So by gardening you can harvest all kinds of crops, flowers for instance, makes great gifts. Some people may even decorate their rooms with flowers you give them. So it's something to sort of notice as you look in there, if you get a chance to look in their rooms. Use the plant command to decide which seeds to use. More seeds mean a bigger harvest, while more compatible seeds will lead to higher quality. Use the cultivate command to pay the greenhouse keeper to look after your crop. The more you spend, the better harvest will be. Your crop will be ready 1 week after you plant your seeds. Use the harvest command to gather what you've grown. Alright, we're going to go ahead and plant this one right here. And going to do the base free cultivating method.
My thanks.
Alrighty. Got some items, and we got something called renown points. We're going to find out a little bit more about that a little bit later on.
I'm a little busy. I really can't right now. I got a lot of things to do. Work and stuff like that. Why don't you look at the flowers in the greenhouse instead? They're pretty.
I just did. Excuse me. Best girl.
Goddess,
I cannot wait to recruit you.
Please protect us.
Okay, fishing has not been unlocked yet.
Unbelievable. The Imperial Princess, the Crown Prince, and the heir to the Alliance's leading house. This is one exceptional year, that's for sure. If you're a teacher here, you better watch your step. If anything were to happen to those kids, well, suffice to say that it could harm the reputation of the Church of Saros, which we've spent almost a millennium establishing.
Wow, thanks for not putting any pressure on my shoulders. And, ooh, our favorite fish enthusiast.
Well, I call you that, but I am afraid I am not a student here myself.
Oh, that's a shame.
If opportunity arise, I would love to become a student and begin my studies in earnest. The monastery is kind enough to provide a sanctuary for my brother and I. He's the only family I have. Might you help me with a favor?
Okay, yep. That's what unlocks. Okay, yep. That's right. So let's actually go ahead and do the fishing minigame. Yes, I would. So essentially this is just a sort of a timing minigame that is sort of fun to relax with, and it will actually net you a decent amount of points depending on what you catch, and or sort of renown points. So it's pretty simple. There's not too much that you sort of can do to sort of fail at this. Just sort of pay attention to the timing. You gotta get it right in that purple circle. Yep. Pretty simple enough. And it also helps with our professor level, which all activities will help out with that. And
You have helped me so much.
yep, nice. And I'm actually going to go ahead and continue a little bit of fishing, utilizing the rest of the bait I have here. There we go. Alrighty, a little bit larger fish. There we go. Okay, it's slightly smaller. And also catching these fish will actually be important for another activity as well, that we will get into in just a moment. That's definitely a small one. And we have leveled up our professor rank. So this won't take effect on this week, but starting the next week that I utilize sort of the free time, it'll allow me to do more activities, as well as I get more monthly funds for those activities. Here we go. Alrighty. Get back to the cafeteria, dining hall. Petra.
I hope you know I am having great abilities for reading and writing. With sadness, I still have struggles with speaking. If my ways of speech are causing a burden, I hope you will have forgiveness.
You certainly will have forgiveness from me. Alright, let's talk to Edgelord here.
I'm busy. Do you want something? I can't right now, but let's fight soon. I look forward to beating you.
Alright, let's talk to Raph.
Ugh, I really need to eat. I can't hold out until the next meal. Why can't the dining hall stay open all the time? I need to keep eating if I want to get stronger.
Alrighty, and now to the sharing meal activity. So, this is basically where you take two of the students and you sort of invite them for a meal. It helps them with helping out something that is called motivation, which will help out with the teaching sections of the game, as well as raise their supports not only with each other but also with you. So, let's do Bernadetta and Dorothea.
Ooh, this is my favorite. You've got great taste.
I think I like this, but it's been a while, so I'm not sure.
In the bottom left corner, that was their motivation being raised. And of course, more professor points. Letting us know that when we spend all our activity points for the free day, lets us know how to finish up.
Nice. I knew I could count on you.
The segment and move on with the calendar. We're not going to be doing that yet because there's still a few people to talk with. Yeah. And get more renown. And let's move on to the next area.
All right.
Indeed. As part of our commitment to the goddess, the knights undertake various missions across all of Fodlan. Assisting with the education of young nobles is also a part of our sacred duty.
Now, being able to talk with a lot of these characters, whether they're the major characters or whether they're just sort of background characters, it's not required that you talk with them, but it does provide information as far as with the chapter ahead, as well as give you opportunities with the major characters to be able to help increase support points with them. And that's that's mainly with some of the multi-choice stuff that they allow you to sort of respond with. Usually, one answer is usually something that essentially you're wanting to look for an answer that you think that they would respond well to, and that's usually a good way to be able to gain support with those characters.
Hello, Professor. I have a teeny tiny question for you, if that's all right. You haven't seen a man with hair the same color as mine, a scowling face, and a generally gloomy demeanor, have you? Well, yes. Yep. It's a bit difficult to explain. Please just let me know if you do see him, okay?
As you saw on the left, you get the little pop up with the box and the little heart that meant that my support with Annette ended up growing a little bit. It's not much, but being able to do these over and over does add up over time.
Here, a member of House Fresfeld, the ruling family of the Empire, has entered the Officers' Academy for the first time in ages. It is said that the Adrestian Empire's very founding was aided by none other than Saint Saros. That is why the crest of Saros is on the Imperial flag. In recent years, a rift has developed between the Empire and the Church. Let us hope this will be a good opportunity for both parties to reforge their close relationship of years past.
Huh. Almost as a hint of foreshadowing.
There are two types of crests. Major crests manifest their power most effectively, while minor crests are slightly weaker. It is said that the closer a person's blood relation is to various saints and heroes, the higher their chance of bearing a major crest. Of course, there are also examples of major crests manifesting in children whose parents bear no crest whatsoever. The exact nature of how and why crests are inherited is still a mystery.
I feel like if this were One Piece and we have Luffy sort of trying to explain this, it's like magic, mysterious blood. Just sort of straightforward explanation that you'd get it.
Visiting the library yet? It's absolutely loaded with valuable information. I only wish I wasn't burdened with the necessity of sleep, so I could spend all my hours there.
You like reading?
Yes. But it's more that I want to learn as much as I possibly can.
Alrighty, let's go on to second floor in the main building. Alrighty. Yep. They don't have the quick move option yet, so I'm actually going to start over at the library. And get all my conversations over with there.
Professor, I hear you are lacking in knowledge of the Church of Saros. The library contains countless documents about the teaching and the history of the Church. I encourage you to make good use of them.
Alrighty, and basically what they're talking about here is over here on the shelves, they'll basically sort of lore dumping a whole bunch of stuff. And I won't bore you guys with being able to go through that stuff. But if you ever do get the game and play through it, I do recommend that you sort of read through it on your own time when you have the time to sort of go through all that stuff. It does bring in some pretty good information. Alright.
Captain Gerald has hardly changed since 20 years ago. I've aged at least 3 times as much as he has. Why am I talking about this? Oh, right. It was because I just overheard Tomas remarking on the subject. The leader of a legendary group of knights returned. People are bound to be talking about the old captain.
Interesting.
A mock battle? This early? Wow, Professor. They're not giving you any time to settle in, are they? Don't worry, though. Should you get injured, I will care for you all through your recuperation. I will see to you, oh so very, very personally.
You're not being very subtle.
Apparently, there is to be a mock battle between the houses. Interesting, but I hope you understand that I have far more important things on my mind. My research is proceeding slower than I would like. Your crest is something of a challenge. Frustrating, yet also quite intriguing. I was wondering if I might get a sample of your flesh. A couple square inches would do. No? Perhaps some blood? A couple of drops on the device are all I need.
Okay, I'll go for the blood, but really? A couple square inches of my flesh? Wait, what? That is... Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Professor. Those few drops of blood are invaluable to my research. Oh, so much more to learn. Oh, thank you, Professor.
Yep, we already went through that, but... let's talk to Gerald. Or like as I call him, Jiraiya.
Sedith, Hanneman, Manuela, Yuritsa, and many of the knights. None of them were around 20 years ago.
Alrighty, and one last person to talk to.
Do bear in mind that even as you are appraising your students, they are appraising you as well. I hope that you will do your best to form lasting bonds with your flock. Oh, and I look forward to witnessing your prowess in the mock battle.
Alrighty. I believe that handles everything. Yep, so we will end the free day and move on to our first battle. Ferdinand Burr. Yes, I will go ahead and contribute a birthday present to him. Yep. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and start the mission. Rivalry of the houses. So basically, enemy units will be both of the other houses as we try and utilize some early tactics to be able to bring them both down. Or at least have them submit, because we're not actually killing people yet.
It's finally time for the mock battle. This is my chance to measure your worth as an instructor. Do you think you can rise to the challenge?
Leave it to me.
So confident. This will be interesting. Each of us has undergone strict training. We're prepared for anything that comes our way. That means there's no need to hold back. Show us what you're capable of.
Hey there. Did we miss our invite to this strategy meeting? No worries. We'll just join in now.
Simply tell me your weaknesses and you're welcome to stay. But is there enough time to cover them all?
Ooh, wow.
So you can't win unless you know my weakness. Poor princess. You really should believe in yourself more.
I spare no effort when pursuing victory. As a master of schemes, I should think you would understand.
Schemes? Me? I have no idea what you're talking about. I plan to fight fair and square as ever.
Why I
Hearing
love
the
him.
words fair and square from Claude can only be a bad omen.
Your Highnesses haven't known me for very long, but you already have me figured out, don't you?
No need to poke fun. I will fight with honor. That said, I will fight to win.
Yes, and the same is true of us. Right, Professor?
I don't intend to lose.
If that is how you feel, then I will not hold back.
Oh, how precious. Looks like you and the students have become fast friends.
While I am pleased that you are taking the initiative to acquaint yourself with the students, I'm afraid it's about time for the faculty strategy meeting.
Ah, how time flies. In that case, I'll see you later.
Edelgard, Professor, be careful out there.
Alrighty. And we begin our Chapter 1 map. As soon as we load in. Alrighty. Talking about magic and how it will be utilized in battle. Magic can provide new means of attack and defense to a unit that has the skill and is of the appropriate class. You must equip attack magic in place of a weapon, you can use assist magic regardless of your other equipment. All magic has limited uses, but these will replenish at the end of the battle. The magic your unit gains access to is determined by their skills. Study reason to learn black or dark magic. Develop faith to learn white magic. Battle preparations. Choose the units option to determine whom to set the battle. Press the A button to toggle a unit. Units highlighted in green cannot be excluded. Choose the inventory option to sort items, equip abilities, or combat arts, assign battalions, or change your unit's classes. Choose the map option to see the area and the placement of your units. Once your preparations are complete, select fight to begin the battle. So, for units, so we're required to bring in both Byleth and Edelgard. Definitely going to want to keep Linhardt out there. Even he may not be too much of a use. His healing will definitely be very much useful. Hubert. Oh yeah, definitely gonna have Petra out there. Do that. Oh yeah, yeah, I'll definitely keep Hubert out there as my main ranged fighter. Alright, inventory. Okay, yep. Yep, that's a good formation to be able to keep the magic users towards the back. Alrighty. Nope, I do not want to quit. Come on. There we go. And yep, nothing to worry about as far as support. Shouldn't be much as far as abilities that we have to worry, so go ahead and save up, and then let us begin. Enemy for victory condition and defeat conditions, Byleth or Edelgard falls in battle.
The mock battle is finally here. Will you lead us to victory?
Alrighty, so...
I'm sure you already understand, but the house that defeats the other two is declared the winner. Incidentally, I'll be overseeing this mock battle, so listen well if you want to win.
Alrighty. Since the practice battle, units who are defeated will not be permanently lost. That's definitely thankful, because I did put this on classic mode, so... Alright, let's see... ranges for the nearest unit. Okay. I'm gonna put my units just outside of range.
I will prevail.
I will get the victory.
As you wish. Battle.
Alrighty.
None of your shallow tactics are required, Claude. Ignatz and I will dismantle the opposition. Me?
That doesn't sound arrogant at all.
Are you making light of our new professor? If you drop your guard, you're gonna get hurt.
Ash, can you move to the front lines? I want to lure the enemy this way.
Got it, Your Highness. Leave it to me.
Alrighty, let's see how this
Let's finish
turns out.
preparing. Make your move. Did you? Mercedes? Keep our enemy occupied until then.
I'm on it.
Oh my. We'll try our best.
Alright, so how are we gonna attack Lawrence? Yeah, usually he has pretty good res, so may not be the best thing to attack with. Let's see how much Hubert does. Okay, so 11. So we're definitely gonna need to. And what does Linhardt do to him? Only 5. 5, that'd be 16, so at least 12. To finish him off. Okay, so. Alright, let's start off with Hubert. Get him whittled down to finish him off. As well as help keep our ranged foes in the back, and we'll have Lila finish him off. Alrighty.
Lost? Oh, unthinkable.
Each battle a chance to grow.
Alrighty, so. Okay, so. How does Petra. Please, 6. Let's see. Dash. I'll definitely get him down. Ah! I'm gonna have to keep that. Okay. Alrighty, so let's try to seal up as much as we can again. Keep our magic users safe as possible.
Teach. I may have to take this seriously after all.
Although, guess they won't attack. Alrighty, that should be a little bit to my benefit. Alrighty. So. And I'll have Petra attacking Nance here. Oh yeah, that should. Well, yep, beautiful.
I've lost.
Now you know your limits. One step at a time.
That's a pretty good level up. Alrighty, so let's have Violet. Yep, that should dwindle down to what I need him to be. And we'll have Hubert finish him off. Yep.
So strong.
And let's get Petra healed.
I thank you.
Ooh. And I believe that conserves his... that white magic use. Nice.
Let's use the forest to set up an ambush. I'm counting on your support, everyone.
If they're waiting in the forest, we do well to take a detour.
Yeah, I don't want to... I want to give them the advantage. Okay, so let's deduce range. Okay, so... Healed up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to... normal convention is not to have Byleth within the dude's attack range, but because of the dude's personal skill, I want him to actually act. I do not want him to move to a spot and then wait because of his personal skill, and that personal skill being that when he does utilize the wait command, he boosts his defense. So I'm definitely going to want him to attack me. And I'll set everyone up closer to Scuffle. Like, keep them away from anyone else.
Are you really gonna fight two houses at once? An impressive display of confidence.
This is a good opportunity for us. Let's forge ahead.
Alright. Taking up a little bit of a hit, but it's definitely going to serve our needs. Especially now that we have him taking a little bit of his health. And let's go ahead and hit him with our magic units. And finish him off with Hubert. Probably should have had Linhardt finish him off, but oh well. At least Hubert gets the level up.
His strength will serve Lady
Alright.
Edelgard well.
Not ideal, but okay. Alright, so... Culinary. Try to keep everyone away from the thickets. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and see how much Hubert can knock. Okay, so, and how much is... So, not... I'm pretty... Yeah, I should be no problem as far as having Petra, or having either Violet or Edelgard finish off Mercedes. So, I will go ahead and attack with my two magic units before finishing off with Petra. Then, yep. And oh, she gets the crit even. Wow. Get wrecked.
War feeds my body and mind.
Ah, welcome back.
My training was
Just got Dimitri down.
Sorry, everyone. The rest.
And Yeah, let's go ahead. Edelgard already has her level up to level 3, so let's get Violet level up.
You fought well.
Alrighty, let's see what level up he gets.
Ooh!
Ooh!
Very good example.
Ouch. That's not good. The charm will definitely be needed, but ouch. Alright. Alrighty, so the key is going to be leading them away. Someone in a little bit of healing.
Appreciate it.
And keep them out of range. Let them come to us. Yay, they stay out of the thickets. So... Oh, and he's... okay, that is not good. That is not good at all. Should have got him up. Oh, crap. Okay, so... Hubert is destitute right now. But... in this instance, we'll have... How much can... Oh, she can just wipe the floor with Hilda. Okay. I want to... Okay, what was the damage that Linhardt could do to... Okay, what can Linhardt do against Claude? Ah, come on. That's not good. Alrighty.
Coming up with brilliant schemes? You know that was a joke, right? Jeez, not so much as a smile.
Alrighty. So... She also has... I'll just take her out. Yeah.
Ouch! Your defeat was inevitable.
Alrighty. And then... Actually, I'll heal up Edelgard. keep Linhardt out of Claude's range. Then I'll have Petra just... If I'm going to have him attack me, I do not want him in force, so draw him out over here. So yep, I'll have Petra finish off Claude. And once again, she crits Dimitri, then she crits Claude. Oh no! Wow.
War feeds my body and mind.
Okay, not necessarily a good level up, but it's certainly not bad either.
To settle for cheering the others on.
Oh my goodness. So, what do I need to... So, 7. Get her down to this. Alright, hopefully Edelgard does not crit Manuela. Here we go. But...
Well done. Failure is not
Edelgard didn't crit, but she activated her crest. Oh my goodness, wow. And it's... At least Edelgard gets the speed on that level up.
So, you've made...
So, that means I'm going to have to sort of utilize... I've got 3 uses of Nosferatu, and I still have the training sword, so that at least is good. Oh, wow. So, I will put Art there for now, and I'll have everyone start to gather up. I'll even give you a sword. Alright, so... How do we do with the trains? Ooh, that is not good. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so still gonna suffer a little bit. Okay, so yeah, that should be enough to put Linhardt into healing range there. So, trying to get Linhardt the final blow on this one. Please do not crit or activate Crest. Thank you! And we finish it off with Linhardt. Beautiful. Here we go.
The leadership of someone with actual battle experience is, well, I was as good as useless.
Must be awful losing to me.
I'm pretty certain a lot of people have said that about you, Hanneman. Ooh, wow!
I think I'm improving.
Oh my goodness, wow, that's a good level up. Huh.
Alright, that's that. The winner of this mock battle is... the Black Eagle House!
Even though it was just a mock battle, we defeated both houses masterfully. Take pride in this victory, everyone.
Alrighty. Of course, actually ended up using Edelgard a little bit more than what I wanted to use her for, but yeah, that level up was really good. Considering that it's Linhardt that we're talking about, yeah, that was a good level up.
Thank you so much. Excellent work today, Professor. Though our victory should come as no surprise.
Alrighty, we are an hour in. How's everyone doing? Yeah, that was easy.
Yes, it was. Further proof that you're well qualified to guide the Black Eagles.
That was impressive, Professor. I mean, impressive. We gained a victory because of your great leadership.
We certainly did. We all tried our best, of course, but we couldn't have won without you.
I was curious what it would look like if you did not hold back, and you did not disappoint.
I dare say we owe our victory to Lady Edelgard.
You always do.
For that battle, she was only a soldier following our professor's command. Sure, she was an incredibly powerful soldier.
Don't worry about it too much, Linhardt. All that matters is that we won.
Yep.
I'm all done with being on the battlefield, okay? I'd rather stay back than pursue victory out there.
You were all as ridiculous as always. We only managed to win because we worked together. Was it something I said? Is it so odd, me talking about togetherness? If so, that perception must change. In fact, I'm canceling the festivities so we can discuss this topic further. I'm kidding, of course. Come on, everyone. We've earned this celebration.
I wouldn't put it past Edelgard. Alrighty.
Your work with the students was remarkable. I can see Geralt trained you well. I do hope you were able to use the occasion to bond with the students.
Yep.
I'm so happy to hear it. Nothing would please me more than if you used this coming year to grow closer still.
Of course, the mock battle was mere practice. The real fight is the battle of the Eagle and Lion, which will take place during the Wyvern Moon.
Well, that's further down the road.
You properly train your students so as not to humiliate the Academy during the long-held tradition that is the coming battle.
Alrighty, something to look forward to.
I have called you here to tell you of your mission for the month ahead. Your class is to dispose of some bandits causing trouble nearby.
Okay. Bandits?
Those affiliated with Garreg-Mach Monastery have a moral obligation to help those in need, regardless of social standing. Students are no exception. Each month before the newly birthed moon departs, each house of students must complete their assigned mission. You shall work to complete the task at hand alongside your students and report back to the Archbishop before the deadline. Understood? I will soon provide you with the necessary details for your first mission. If I told you now, I expect you would only forget, and I despise repeating myself.
I can sense something special within your heart. I have high hopes for you.
Bandits, they say. Do you recall when we first met?
Yep.
You shall not fall so shamelessly.
Remember it like it was just yesterday.
Have you no words for me? Do not tell me that you are shocked to hear from me. You ought to know that I am always with you now.
To hear my voice should not come as a shock.
Right. Yep. Yep. That's not weird at all.
What is this nonsense?
Oh, you again?
To kill as many noble pipsqueaks as possible. No one said anything about the Knights of damn Saros being on our trail.
Watch your mouth.
You have proven yourself worthless, distracted by something so trivial. I had hoped you would achieve your goal despite the setback. But now a child of the Knight's former captain is in play. How interesting.
Hey, this isn't what I agreed to!
Hiring a mercenary as a professor.
Wow, looking so evil there.
Are you listening to me? How do we finish this?
You die.
Wow, that's pretty blunt.
What?
Underestimating the Knights was an amateur mistake. One you will pay for. The road to eternal torment awaits you all. Now I must locate your replacements.
Alrighty.
Get back here! Damn you!
Alrighty, so some evil lurking in the shadows there.
Part 1. White clouds. Harpstring moon. Familiar scenery.
Alrighty.
In honor of the saints whose births or deaths took place under this moon, the people perform music once beloved by those divine beings. Whether by harp, by flute, or voice alone, joyous melodies are shared between farmers as they sow their seeds across the vast plains of Tailteen and Gronder.
Okay. Alrighty. Going into chapter 2. Oh yeah, definitely has that sort of Renaissance feel with that artwork. Yeah. New places to explore in the monastery. Nice. And receive 2,000 gold from the Church of Saros as funding for this month's activities. Nice.
As you have already been notified, your mission is to subdue some bandits. Our students have been learning about combat through study, but this is a precious opportunity to provide them with practical experience.
All right.
The Knights will support your mission and are prepared to offer their assistance if necessary. In short, this is no mock battle. You must be prepared for anything. You will receive a message from the Knights when it is time to depart. Until then, use your time wisely.
The last time we fought bandits, you saved me. Maybe I can return the favor this time.
Alright, let's do our best.
The Knights are well aware of our enemy's strength. We can count on them to keep the battlefield under control for us. It seems unlikely that we would lose. Still, let's do all we can to prepare.
And there's certainly quite a bit of preparing that we're going to have to do.
To life at the monastery?
Not quite.
Well, I didn't expect it would be easy on you. When we were mercenaries, I handled everything. Outside of battle, you didn't have much contact with people, did you? I thought being thrown into a swarm of noble brats to teach would be a bit much for you. It seems I was right to worry. By the way, I heard about those bandits. Your first assignment is to take them out, right?
Yep.
That's fairly routine for you by now, but don't forget it's the first real taste of battle for those brats. It'll be tougher to sleep at night if you let one of your little pupils die. So stay vigilant and lead them well.
And
I wish I could offer you my support, but Lady Rhea won't allow it. For now, I'll try to figure out what she wants from you. I don't mind you settling into your life here, but don't let your guard down. Ever.
Alrighty. And those words that he was talking about earlier, that's actually going to be an important theme for the main map within this particular month. It's Annette's birthday, so yep, I will go ahead and
Thank you.
buy her some flowers. Always good to raise up the support with the other major characters. Alright, events. Monastery holds events with various effects, such as those which increase the benefit of the share of meal activity for certain characters. These events will appear on the calendar. Select Explore on your day off to participate. And we get to travel to the Abyss, part of the DLC pack. So to travel the Abyss, speak with the Shifty Merchant near your quarters. To return, select the entrance on the map or find the To the Monastery area. Which means we get new characters to bring in. Alright, let's go ahead and explore. From the map screen, you can travel instant. Okay, yep, the fast travel option. So basically, like anything, you just sort of hover over the area that you want to go to, and just it basically only for places that you have visited, just like any of the fast travel mechanic. Alrighty. Girl's voice. What could it mean? Alrighty, so yeah, there's none of the extra stuff because once again, this is a brand new file. Let's actually go ahead and start with the Abyss, so I can talk about the new characters that they added with the DLC and my personal thoughts about them. These characters are part of a side story that you can elect to go through, and depending on how far you get into it, that unlocks a certain character when you get to that point.
What's that?
Let's talk to some of the background characters first.
Such an innocent face you have. This isn't a place for innocent people. Especially not if you're
sort of unfortunate with all the... There she is! There she is! A little unfortunate with sort of loading in. Alright.
Hey you're from up top, right? What business do you have here? Wait a minute. Ah, got it. You're that new professor, aren't you? I suppose that means I have to let you pass. I guess, welcome to Abyss. This town is full of rough and toughs, so watch your back down here.
So basically this area's version of the Gatekeeper above. Definitely not as liked as the Gatekeeper.
Hey,
who are you?
What are you looking at? I don't want any trouble. Get lost.
Alrighty. And I believe that takes care of all the background characters, so... yes. We got 4 new characters to bring in. Let's start off with the main honcho himself.
But I do advise getting out of here before you get tangled up in trouble. Unless you've been sent here under someone's orders. In which case, I'll happily show you a good time.
Wow, so... heard about Abyss, came to find it.
Well, I do like people with a healthy curiosity. You are aware of how dangerous it is down here, yeah? Huh. You're that mercenary turned professor, aren't you? The one who showed up at the monastery kinda recently. Yeah. You're the one I've heard so much about. Well, I guess it's fine you're here then. You can call me Yuri. You'll want to remember that, if you ever come down here again.
Alrighty, so...
Want my help, Sure, why not? But I don't do anything for free. In exchange, let me attend the lectures you give those noble kids, yeah?
Yep, I will go ahead and invite you.
It's a deal. Come on by whenever you need me. If you're wondering why I won't come up to you, it's because I've got people to watch over in Abyss.
Alright, so Yuri has joined our house. So, Yuri, my thoughts on him. Definitely a very interesting character, voiced by a longtime voice actor, as well as a notable Twitch streamer, Kagi Films. He's definitely an interesting character. Certainly has a lot of sort of like the mystery to him that Claude does, but he's a lot more. He's a lot more reserved as far as what he actually sort of lets people know. He actually has an actual defined plan, whereas Claude is more of what he reveals it basically on his whims and not necessarily to a plan. I definitely like Yuri as a character, and he is definitely a sort of strong character to sort of lead this sort of ragtag group here. He's definitely not as high up on my personal list of favorite characters, but he's definitely very useful in battle. He's definitely someone that you want to be able to utilize as a sort of a major character in battle. So,
bit of a trek coming all the way down here, huh? I'll be helping you out now, but just so you know, my life is still down here. If you can't find me in the classroom on the surface, you'll likely find me here instead.
Alrighty. Next one.
And who might you be? Not an Abyssian, that much is clear at a glance. A visitor from above, perhaps? With what purpose?
Just looking around.
I must have misheard you. Either that, or you haven't the slightest inkling of where you are. Oh, but of course! You must be the new teacher specially appointed by Lady Rhea. That is it, yes? Rumors have been flying underground about you. Well then, I am Constance von Nouvelle. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Alrighty. Yep, let's go ahead and recruit her.
Then rejoice, for you have the aid of a Nouvelle. You did come seeking my aid, yes? Hopefully with something befitting my station?
Yep, I will go ahead and invite you.
For the Officers Academy? How splendid. I was a former attendee there myself, you know. I shall be a model of grace in my duties.
Alrighty, Constance has joined. Constance von Nouvelle. Where to begin with her? Where to begin? Eccentric does not even begin to describe what Constance is about. Just about every single moment with her is interesting, and it's not necessarily as far as her sort of, not even just her sort of outward personality, because there is actually sort of a flip side to her. As you'll learn as we interact more and more with her, there's actually sort of almost sort of bipolarness to her, and it will definitely makes things very, very interesting. She has become quite a figure within the Fire Emblem community, and she is very much enjoyable, and she is also very useful in battle as well. As far as amongst the four members of the Ashen Wolves, I'd put her in the same ground as Yuri, sort of in the middle. There is one character that I would put above both of them, but yeah, she is definitely very much a delight. I honestly don't think I could actually put either Yuri or Constance ahead of each other, so they can sort of tie up in the middle as far as how I feel about them. But things are definitely very interesting with Constance around, and like I said, she has become sort of a pretty notable figure within the Fire Emblem community.
Come to invite me to a lesson or some such, have you? I prefer not to be above ground during the day when I can help it, unless there are storm clouds above.
And that sort of clues you in as far as sort of what you're going to end up noticing. Is you sort of see how her attitude changes when she is in direct daylight. So, next, let's talk with Balthus here.
You're clearly not from around here. You don't strike me as the thief or merchant type. I don't owe you money, do I?
I'm a professor.
You're that new teacher everyone's been yapping about. And yet, You look younger than me. Weird. The name's Balthus, formerly of the Alliance.
Alright, let's go ahead and recruit him.
Pal. You want my help, yeah? Can't blame ya. Look, I get it. You're the new professor. You've got a lot on your plate. You need backup? I'm your guy. Fine, you've talked me into it. But I'm gonna need you to sweeten the deal.
I didn't do any talking. Yep, I'll go ahead and invite you.
Now about that sweetening. I'll need to attend your classes whenever the mood strikes. I get bored from time to time, all cooped up.
Alrighty, Balthus. He's definitely the sort of my least favorite of, and just like any like the other characters that that we were introduced yesterday, as far as just because he's sort of the bottom rankings of my favorites within a certain group doesn't necessarily mean that he's a bad character, and same holds true. He's not a bad character. It's just when you compare him to the other three students within the Ashen Wolves here, the sort of ragtag group here, he doesn't measure up, even though he definitely stands over them in actual physical stature. But when it comes to actual sort of likability as well as sort of like personality, and even in battle, like yeah, he's an absolute powerhouse, but there's not much to him other than that. Like, he can do a little bit of utility healing, but he's not gonna be wowing you with his magic prowess. Even though he's supposed to be able to specialize in faith magic, like what he can be able to do is not all that good compared to other sort of healers. So yeah, like even Yuri outclasses him in faith magic as well, with being a healer. So.
Well, did you come all the way here just to stare at my rippling abs, or did you want something? If you're gonna ask me for help on the surface, it better be real important. I try not to go up there unless I absolutely have to.
All in all, he's still an interesting character. It's just definitely not my cup of tea. And last, and certainly not least, let's talk with Happy.
Who are you? Wait, shut up. Let me guess. You're that new professor, right? You just started teaching up on the surface.
How did you know that?
Even here, people have been talking about you. Not that the gossip got everything right. I heard you were beautiful, but obviously that was an exaggeration.
Oh, wow. That's harsh. That's almost Tellius levels of brutal right there. Alright, let's go ahead and recruit Happy.
You want to know if I can help out? I've got time, but I don't want to spend it all serving the church. Don't make that face. Fine. I'll back you up. Yeah, sure thing. You know, I've never really had a teacher before. And it'll be my first time at the Officers Academy. Sounds like fun.
Alright, Happy. So obviously, as I talked about the other characters, she is definitely my favorite. But there's actually a sort of weird thing with Happy. Like, as far as like sort of personality, she actually has sort of more in common with Felix. And as I told you yesterday, Felix is definitely not high up on my list of favorite characters. So I'm not even sure if I can be able to properly describe what works with Happy that doesn't work with Felix. And I think the fact that she can at least be able to have actual conversation with people. She doesn't push people away. Yeah, she definitely has sort of the sort of pseudo nihilistic sort of personality to her that Felix also has, but she's still pleasant to be around, and she is actually she is also very useful in battle. And honestly, it may be the design, but there is actually sort of this sort of gravity, or this gravitas to her that actually sort of reels me in. And so, do I sort of favor her compared to some of my absolute tops, like Marianne, like Leonie or Annette or Claude. No, I wouldn't put her that high, but she is certainly above a lot of sort of the middle ground characters in my personal as far as my personal feelings on them. So I definitely Happy is definitely my personal favorite of the Ashen wolves, and she is definitely very useful in battle.
To visit the surface if I can help it. I don't want to run into any knights.
Yeah, she definitely does not like the church above. And we'll find out more about that later. So, with that, let's head on up back to the monastery. We got almost a half hour left. How's everyone doing? Alrighty, let's go ahead and take care of some of the stuff in here.
Your performance in the mock battle was exceptional, Professor. You have inspired me to follow your example and study even more diligently. Perhaps we could train together sometime. I would love to test myself against your sword skills again.
Alrighty.
I hear you've been tasked with hunting down bandits, right? Meanwhile, my class is stuck with a downright peaceful mission. Sounds like you'll be fighting alongside the knights, too. Don't let the monastery down, Teach.
I certainly won't.
It is better if you do not approach me. If you spend too much time around a man of Dusker, there will be rumors.
It's sort of unfortunate that we won't be able to recruit to do on this particular run, considering that we're in the Black Eagles, and he does not leave the Blue Lions whatsoever. But once I'm able to get to a Blue Lions run, I definitely am looking forward to revealing more about his character with you guys as we go along. So that's definitely something to look forward to in a future stream series. Alright, the training grounds. Alrighty.
For years, the Boar Prince and I were inseparable. I know him better than almost anyone else. So let me give you some advice. Beneath all that princely polish, he's an animal, nothing more. He's strong and skilled, sure. But don't place your trust in him as a human being. Take care he doesn't chew you up and spit you out.
Definitely not going to be ready to recruit him yet.
And now that you're all the way over here, Professor, care to join me in some training?
Yep, yep, that's where he lives, yep.
To the horses or bearing
Very few times he'll be anywhere else. Very few times.
There's truly nothing better.
I won't be able to recruit you yet either.
Hey there, Professor. You here to check in on my training? Oh, that reminds me. I found this small cloth. It's kind of weird. Not really sure what it is, but it works great for wiping up sweat.
The next assignment is to drive out bandits? Sounds like some training is in order. Tell me something, Professor. When it comes to a one-on-one battle, which is better, strength or skill?
And he's definitely going to be looking for strength.
I knew it! When it's all said and done, muscle always comes out on top.
Even though, personally, I think that skill is a lot better. But whatever you can do to build up those supports. Alrighty, let's... Nope. Hold on a moment. Sorry about that. Alright, looks like I have... looks like Edelgard has a...
For some students, this will be their first time stepping onto a real battlefield. It's important that they're mentally prepared. As for me, do I look green to you? Is there anything else you wish to ask me about regarding spending your time at the monastery or battles?
Oh yeah, she's got the rest of the the guide stuff.
Just as students have much to learn from other students, professors can also share their knowledge with each other. You should consider seeking instruction from Professor Hanneman or Professor Manuela. I think you'll find their insight quite interesting.
Basically, this is the main mechanic as far as how you level up your different skills, and we'll get more into that when we get to the actual teaching section. And recruiting.
Which house a student is assigned to depends on where they're from. That said, each professor has their own area of expertise. So if a student is adamant about it, it is possible to switch someone from one house to another, pending your approval, of course. If you become closer with the students by partaking in the various activities around the monastery, you'll be able to talk to them about such things.
Alright. And yeah, that's going to be sort of the main thing as far as with the faculty training, what you're essentially sort of building yourself towards, as well as being able to utilize the different weapons, as well as the different types of abilities, and leveling those up, as you can only recruit characters if you have a certain stat level of what they're looking for, as well as the weapon or skill rank.
It is a rather different sort of mission. It makes me wonder what the Archbishop is planning.
So while even though you're guiding these students, you're also wanting to sort of build your abilities up as well. Alright, Ash?
It's thanks to my adoptive father, Lenato, that a commoner like me is here at the Academy. He is the very model of chivalry. Someday, I'm going to be just like him.
Certainly sounds like a great guy.
What the?
Oh yeah, that's all the way back around. That was Leone and Gerald. That was over there.
Professor.
Alright.
Professor, hey, do you know how old Captain Gerald is?
That's enough, Leone. If I don't know, how could my child know?
It's not normal to forget your own age, you know. It's kind of worrisome, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
By the time you're forgetting your own age, you're past the point of caring.
I guess if you put it that way, you've got a point.
Alright, let's
I
read
have
the
a
quest.
request.
Alright. Let's talk to Anna over here.
Hello there. Are you that new professor everyone's talking about? Name's Anna. I'm a merchant who slings wares all across Fodlan and beyond. I come in here all the time, so I'm sure our paths will cross more. Hopefully, much more.
Alright, so yeah, Anna is a very notable recurring character within pretty much almost all of the Fire Emblem games. It's sort of think Anna's pretty much the Fire Emblem's version of Nurse Joy or Officer Jenny. It's like there are multitudes of this one character, all with the same name, somehow inhabiting all these different continents, all these different time periods that the Fire Emblem games inhabit. But yet they all seem to be all very much similar. She works here as a merchant, and even a little bit later, you can actually recruit her. Although, objectively, she's probably one of the worst units. Although, on a personal level, I've actually had some pretty good Annas in some of my playthroughs. Like, she actually gets pretty decent on some of my runs. I've even had Anna almost pretty much sort of qualify her for final map material. So that goes to show how lucky I've been with her, although I don't expect her to be consistent in that. But I'll talk a little bit more when we can actually recruit her, as far as how I view her character as a whole. Alright. What items? Do I have any items here? Yep. much. Okay.
You know, Professor, there are some things I'll just never understand. Like the other night, I went on a date with a dashing, handsome, strong young knight. Oh, I'm a bit weak just remembering him. Anyway, do you know what that no-good jerk said when we got back to my room? He said, "What a mess. I'm afraid to go in there." Can you believe it? You know who cares about keeping everything neat and tidy? Not me, that's who. Afraid to go in there. Some knight he is.
Alrighty. Hilda.
I'm bored. Maybe I should go into town.
You're always bored.
Such a hassle. Oh, hi, Professor. I'm rather busy right now, so do make it quick.
You don't look busy to me.
Well, I suppose being a professor has taught you how to ferret out time wasters.
I could have raised my support by doing the other episode, but whenever I see her, I just feel like I have to be blunt with her. Alrighty.
A moment, please.
Introduce into more areas within the main hub.
That's right. Oh, Professor, how are you today? I'm just heading out for a mission. I'll be seeing you. What makes you say that? Do you know something I don't? Are there supernatural elements at play? Ghosts? Oh, forget it. I'll be going now.
And there he goes. Alright, Lysithia.
There were way too many vegetables in today's meal. The ratio of vegetables to sweets was completely skewed.
Oh, hi, Professor. Were you just eavesdropping on me?
Well, everyone knows a plate full of sweets is far preferred to a plate full of vegetables, regardless of age.
I won't be able to recruit you yet. Ah, Petra.
Bridget has much more warmth than Fodlan. Even spring here has coolness. And you, Professor? Which do you find is worst? Too hot or too cold weather?
Personally, I absolutely prefer the cold. Living up here in Wisconsin, and I'm very much used to the cold weather that we have up here. I cannot stand heat and humidity. But just for the sake of this, I will go for the answer that she's going to be looking for.
I have agreements. In Bridget, I am able to be wearing much lighter clothes.
But yeah, I cannot stand heat and humidity. Oh god, that is the worst.
I've got to find out everyone's likes and dislikes so I know what to cook. Who knows when it'll be my turn at kitchen duty. How about you, Professor? Do you like sweet or spicy food?
Definitely sweet.
Ooh, same. I'll definitely remember that.
I can take a little bit of spice, but not too much. Alrighty, so... let's see here. Oh, so... let's do Yuri and Happy.
I've eaten many meals in my time, but this is divine.
Wow, this is all kinds of tasty.
Alrighty. Let's go ahead. Item, yes. Oh, actually, there was a second. I shouldn't have actually have done the activity. Oh, well.
Would you kindly do something for me?
That's my fault, though. Should remember. Oh, Shamir.
No, sorry. You remind me of someone I know.
Hello again, best girl.
Hello. If you'll excuse me.
I won't be able to recruit you yet, but I am definitely looking forward to being able to recruit you. Alright. And let's go ahead and take care of the gardening section. Harvest. We got some food. Okay. Alright, let's plant in some new seeds. Alright, so... Yep, let's go do that for now. And cultivate. There's not going to be much change to yield, so I'll go with the infusion of magic. No really use wasting the gold for no change at all. So let's actually go back up here because there's a couple of people to talk with.
Oh, Professor, hello. I was just looking for my... Well, it's like a pale blue cloth. Have you seen it? Thank you so much.
Alrighty. That's essentially going to sort of lead in future weeks, in sort of future chapters. There's going to be items that are going to be on the ground that are actually lost items that you need to return to the individual characters. Let's deceive her.
Yank? Oh, come on. That's just cruel.
I could have that little mischievous side of me. The cake's a lie. Makes me wonder if that was an intentional reference. Collecting these little guides to boost my renown, or my professor points. Yes. One out there. No items here. And gatekeeper.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Are you settled in here at the monastery yet? Make sure to have a good look around. There's much to see. Like fish. You do know about the pond behind the dining hall, right? You can fish there. Give it a try.
I already have, but thank you very much for the information. And we look about the marketplace. This is actually where you're going to find Anna, who we met a little bit earlier, the majority of the time.
Hi there.
Actually, think about it, I'm going to... trade back this iron sword, because I actually want to do a tiny bit of shopping. Just in case he runs out of magic. Usually Hubert is actually pretty good with utilizing bows as well, so
this one do?
I will go ahead and give him a bow.
Many thanks. Come back soon. Right.
Alright, no items there. There we go. Jeez.
Hey.
Nothing there. Okay.
So...
You can't be serious. I need
Alrighty.
your help.
Interact with the dogs or cats. Share some meat, fish, or produce. Once you've had them a bit, you might get some kind of reward. Basically, so... You know how people sort of talk on social media about, Oh, does this game have allow you to pet the dog or pet the cat or pet animals? Initially, when this game first released, it didn't have any kind of interaction with the animals, but instead of petting, you actually sort of give them food. To feed dogs and cats of Garrick Mock, select food item from gifts. The animals don't care much for food embedded with magic, but fish, produce, and meat are enjoyable for them. Alrighty, so give them a small fish. That looks happy.
Yay! Thanks.
And that's a quest they get to finish. Yay! I forgot to talk to someone.
Right.
Tomas.
Do you know about the Cardinals? They are the ones who run the church. Their identities are a closely guarded secret.
Sure hope to be able to get to know them at some point.
Professor, you there.
Alright.
We will accompany you on your assignment. We don't want anything to happen to our precious students. If any of you run into trouble, we'll step in and help out.
I think good to know.
What?
Yuritsa again.
You look
We'll
bored.
learn more about him
Care to duel?
as we go along. A duel?
What? I just wanted to spar.
No.
A moment, please. I was thinking.
Okay.
What about
Sylvain.
Professor, you're the one taking out the bandits? That's one way to start your career at the academy. I didn't expect they'd order us to risk our lives here. Seems a bit extreme, doesn't it?
Nope, won't be able to recruit you yet.
Okay.
I was thinking.
The Knights of Saros are also known as the Shining Knights. We are the sword and shield of the divine Saros. There are many orders of knights in the world, but we are the only one that has the honor of bearing the name Saros. As a member of the church, you should probably study up on the history of Saros and the knights.
It's strange that they, that little bit of information as far as being called the Shining Knights, that's never brought up again. As far as my recollection, like, they never really referenced that particular name.
I can't figure out who. Oh,
The Sword and Shield, definitely,
Sorry, but I'm really
they
busy
reference
right
again
now.
in several points, but yeah, the Shining Knights, yeah. Actually, it's like, I believe that's Caspar that
That reminds
we have to talk to again. Yes.
Hey there, Professor. You here to check in on my training? Oh, not really sure what it is.
Yes, that was the cloth that Dorothea was talking about earlier. Although, not sure why they don't have you interact with that more, but oh well.
That's,
Move up to the second floor while we're here. I've got about 10 minutes, so I'm hoping to at least be able to show you a little bit about the teaching mechanic. So I'll go ahead and try and hurry on through this before we end the stream today. The cookbook. Another cookbook.
I can't believe it.
There we go.
I'm so glad to be a student here. If only because I get to use this library. Reading books from all the regions of Fodlan. I feel almost like I'm visiting those places myself. I agree.
All right.
They're brimming with the knowledge and experience of our ancestors.
Nope, I won't be able to recruit you just yet. Let's talk to Linhardt.
Swimming through a sea of countless books, tracking down that single sought-after volume, it's absolute bliss. How do the poor fools who spend their days sharpening swords and polishing armor find any joy in life?
Alrighty. Try to run through here. what's Hanneman going to ask us to do this time?
Excellent work guiding the students in the mock battle. Taking command like that? Simply splendid. And bearing the unknown crest's power? Yes, I'm talking about you. Your talents are incredible, and Lady Rhea's insight as to your potential is doubly so.
Alright, so...
You seem to have a
Might
mark
as well.
of the exceptional about you. I only wish Seth would follow your example.
Something tells me that there's a good reason why he doesn't want to. Let's go ahead and collect this for the Gerald quest.
Thanks for your help.
Nice. Inventory, access items. Yep. Combat arts, inventory. Yep.
Hey, you.
Xanadu, the Red Canyon, is a place of great significance to the Church of Saros. Even members of the church are forbidden from entering without permission. To go trampling around in there, causing trouble. Those bandits truly are morally reprehensible.
So we're talking about the map that we will be doing for the sort of the main chapter map.
Thank you for paying me a visit. Is there anything troubling you? Or is there perhaps something I can help you with? Believers live their lives by her sacred wisdom. Please use the library's vast resources to learn more. I can often be found here, so if there is ever anything you need, please do not hesitate to pay me a visit.
Hesitating. Alright, let's go ahead and move back down. Do some fast traveling. And head on up to the final area that we need to. Come on. Come on, load in. Thank you.
Really?
Ah, Ferdy.
Do you know of the Ire family? We have long held the position of Prime Minister in the Empire. The Empire's power lies with 6 noble families, my family foremost among them. The full explanation may be time-consuming. I can give you a moment to get ready, if you would like to take notes.
I'm ready.
All right. I will list the 6 great noble families. There's Caspar's father, Count Bergles, the Minister of Military Affairs. Then there's Linhardt's father, Count Hevering, the Minister of Domestic Affairs. Bernadetta's father, Count Varley, is the Minister of Religious Affairs. Hubert's father, Marquis Vestra, is the Minister of the Imperial Household. Finally, we have Duke Gert, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and my own father, Duke Ire, the Prime Minister. One day, I will take his place as the Prime Minister of the Empire. I am more talented than anyone in my class, even Edelgard. I will lead the Empire to a bright, enlightened future.
I look forward to that.
There's nothing I cannot achieve.
So basically some world building. As we head into the cathedral. Giving us a sort of introductory view.
Here's an idea. I hear the Officers' Academy of the Monastery was founded about 2 centuries ago. The eastern region of Fodlan was being invaded by Almyra, and so the Archbishop of the time took measures to prevent the border from being taken. In order to ensure Fodlan would be safe from potential threats, she deemed it necessary to raise a generation of excellence. That is how the establishment was founded, though its purpose has changed over the years.
I wonder why. Alrighty, so we got a couple of quests to accept here.
To ask.
I'll accept.
Well,
Let's talk to Mercedes.
The cathedral is nice and quiet. It's so relaxing. Oh, Professor, did you come to pray to the goddess?
That's right.
Me too. Shall we pray together?
I won't be able to recruit you yet.
So, inside the cathedral, there is a chapel dedicated to the 4 saints. Do you know of them?
More world
Saint
building.
Indec, Saint Macul, Saint Keyhole, and
Saint Satlin. Who is your favorite, Professor?
Now that you are a member of the church, be sure to familiarize yourself with our teachings and traditions.
Alright.
Inside the cathedral, Saint... Now that...
Yep,
I have something to ask of you.
Troubling rumors. Collect information on Western Church or to set it. Alright. And lost.
It is the duty of every Fodlan noble to demonstrate piety towards Saros. Have you also come to offer your prayers to the goddess, Professor? You don't sound terribly sure. Perhaps you are not of noble birth? After all, devotion is not as essential for a commoner.
And who are you to judge that? Alrighty. So, let's go ahead and fast travel, get some of these quests done. So that we can be able to move on to teaching.
Bridget, word of advice, Professor. There are those who don't think kindly of such people.
That takes care of the Sedith.
Professor!
Professor!
And here's the thing for the choir. It's quick trip to...
Right. You're a lifesaver.
I won't do this one specifically. I should have not done the share the meal, but that basically is you take an individual character and you have them prepare some kind of food that gives the entire group, your entire team, a temporary buff for the month, as well as raises support with that one particular character. And they're usually particular characters that you want to look for to actually get that done.
Well done. You have my thanks.
Yep. Alright, and what the activity that we will do to finish up here is the choir.
Thank you.
So the choir rehearsal. This is basically a way to increase faith magic ability. So I'll go with Dorothea and Happy. It's also a good way to also raise support with those particular characters.
I'm vying for attention, but how loud is too loud?
Singing is nice, isn't it? The only thing is, I'd prefer to do it without an audience.
Alrighty. And let's go ahead and I'll quickly go through sort of the teaching process before we go ahead and finish up for the day. So,
have you not been told what's expected from lectures here? Well,
so yeah, I'll definitely be willing to sort of go over time.
From other professors.
When you instruct your students, they gain skill experience. As their skill levels increase, they gain access to new abilities and combat arts. So basically going... So let's quickly go through this.
It's a good idea to determine everyone's academic goals. Students will want to prioritize studying things that will help them achieve their aim.
So basically talking about how the students will have their areas that they will naturally be inclined in, and it will be more advantageous to focus on those areas.
It's probably easier to get good results if you instruct students based on their interests and specialties.
Like that.
Of course, that doesn't mean it's pointless to teach someone things unrelated to their personal goals as well. By looking beyond their preferences, some students may find they're interested in fields they've never previously considered.
Yep.
A student's goals
so basically sort of interests as well as sort of hidden interests.
On missions. When that happens, perhaps you could help them decide what new goals they should set for themselves.
Alright.
How motivated a student is will affect how well your tutoring goes. To help cultivate their motivation, I think it's a good idea to interact with your students as much as possible. Please try your best to motivate everyone, so that they, in turn, will try hard with their assignments and activities.
Yeah, just like I had explained earlier, being able to do as many activities as possible is definitely going to be very key as far as making sure that you can be able to raise each student's sort of skill levels as much as possible each time you can.
Students are encouraged to engage in various activities in and around the monastery. If you instruct your students to work together as a team, it will help to deepen their bonds and produce better results.
Yep. Sort of also a good way to not only increase their skills, but also increase support between specific characters.
Have you heard about the certification exams? They take place every month. Everyone here is working hard to become a certain type of soldier, and those tests are how you can check to see how far we've come. In order to pass the exam, you need to train enough to become whatever class you're aiming for. Take care to develop your students strategically so that they can pass their certification exams.
Alright, in previous Fire Emblem games, usually a character goes on a very linear path as far as what classes that they are. It's very much predetermined what their pathing is. Whereas in this game, you can pretty much mold them into whatever there is. And thus, because of that, this particular game does not follow sort of the similar structure of being able to ascend to a higher class than in previous Fire Emblems. So basically, the certification exam is the way that you actually sort of class up your characters. And once you get a character certified in that class, they can switch in and out of that class at any time. So let's go ahead and start instructing. We got 3 slots, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters that we can work on. Start with Edelgard. One thing that I personally like to do is I like to start working on their hidden abilities as early as possible.
Nothing worth praise is
as far as for the individual instructions, and then focus as far as their goals on stuff that they're naturally inclined to. So, like Bernadetta has the sort of hidden ability with cavalry skills, and this basic RNG as far as what the results for each individual instruction are. Perfect gives you an opportunity to be able to have an extra bit of motivation. And let's work on Dorothea's faith. Nice. So far doing pretty good as far as we even got an extra perfect. That is it. So as far as the individual instructions, group tasks, we got sort of stable duty, raise cavalry, weeding, raise armor skill, and skywatch, raise flying mounted. So I'm gonna work on what should I work on? I'll work on stable duty because I can be able to put Ferdinand and Happy in there, and that's actually a pretty good result. So let's go ahead. And individual goals, yes, I'll keep Hubert. He's actually not really inclined on faith, so. Actually, sort of reason authority would actually work well for him at the moment. lance and axe for him. No, actually, I won't need to do much in axes or lances right now, so I'll do axe and heavy armor. To be able to work on both his cavalry skills as well as his armor skills. In fact, he even has a hidden ability for armor, so that will definitely be something to look forward to. Linhardt, yeah, I'll keep it at that. Caspar, I'll keep it at that. Bernadetta, yeah, I'll keep it at that for now. Dorothea, even though she's not inclined on faith yet, I'll start working on that as soon as possible, because she does have a hidden talent for it. So once she gets that hidden talent unlocked, she's definitely going to progress in faith much faster. Petra, I'm actually going to start working on axe and flying, as that is definitely going to be useful for her later down the line. Yuri, I'll put him on... he's at a good sword level right now, so I'll work on reason and faith with him, because he's inclined in both. Balthus, I'll keep it. Don't need to work on his brawling right away. I can start working on his faith. Constance. Start working on her faith and her flying. Oh, wow. I'm actually pretty clear over here as far as I know of, yeah. And then finally, Happy. Won't work on her lance right away. Work on her axe, because she does have a hidden talent with that, but I'm going to work on her faith and her riding. Alrighty, and get to in the lecture. They give us some extra stuff to try and raise motivation. Such interesting ideas seem to have, Professor, but tell me this. What would you do if you're given a task teaching a subject you yourself did not understand? I'll take the time to study check.
That was surprisingly reasonable.
And that'll be definitely good as far as he maxed out his motivation. So that'll be definitely useful for next time.
Hey, pal.
No, I am definitely not going to change your goals as I... Okay, nothing,
It is a perfect day to exert oneself.
Wish us luck. We're gonna need it. I guess that's that.
Alright. And we get to find out what... I really don't expect any level up, any skill ups. Oh, got a skill up in faith with Dorothea.
I grasped it! How lovely!
Nice. And that will be it. Raphael's birthday. Yes, I will. And with that, I'm actually going to go ahead and save, and that'll be it for tonight. Thank you very much for sticking around, even though I went a little bit into overtime. I will not be streaming again till Friday. It will be on our normal time, 5 p.m. Central Time, and we're going to be going back into Kingdom Hearts. Token Prime, thank you very much for the comment. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you enjoyed the stream. I will definitely see you guys on Friday. I hope you have had a wonderful day. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Take care, and God bless. Thank you very much. Goodbye.